is the Bill Squire Show.
Everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Bill Squire Show. I am your host, Bill Squire, and I'm here with AJ DeCosimo.
Hello, love.
And camera Tommy LC. That's
Hello, love.
Hello, love.
Are we doing hello, love, to start the show today?
Hello, love.
Hello.
All right.
Can we do that now every episode?
Oh, we're playing grab ass.
We can do
Whatever
that.
the fuck
That's
we
fine.
want.
Yeah. We can do lots of things. Well, we can't do whatever the fuck we want. And I'll get to that later.
Oh, no.
Because there's things that you shouldn't do. And I think a lot of people know you shouldn't do these things. But some people like to push boundaries. And we'll get to that.
Learned a lot over the last few years. There's a lot you can't do.
Right.
You can't pull your dick out and piss on the floor of a outlet
Of
store.
a what? Outlet store?
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. I didn't learn that lesson the hard way.
Right.
Not at all.
No.
No.
It was my own shame.
Right. So let's start off talking with AJ.
Okay.
Tonight was a little bit of a hectic night getting down to film the podcast.
There's a big
and recording.
concert.
Damn,
Because Post Malone is here, and he is just taking up everybody's parking spots and just,
Do you think
But he kept everybody so on edge about whether or not we were even going to do this thing tonight, whether he was going to do it, which is annoying because he knew he was going to do it last night.
Okay.
Right.
So
tonight
send the tweet
was
that
a
he
little
sent
bit of a
at,
hectic night
an
getting
hour
down to
before the
film
show
the
tonight.
podcast.
Last
Big
night, so
concert.
everybody's
Damn,
just
Post.
cool. Post Malone
Hello,
is here.
Edgar. Thanks for
and he
checking
is
out the show
Hi,
live.
Edgar.
Appreciate that.
Taking
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
live? I didn't
Yeah.
know we were live.
Yeah, we're gonna do it
Do you
live.
think
But
I
he kept
know? Okay.
everybody
I like it
so
live.
on
Cool.
edge about whether or not we. And we got some topics to talk about.
We're in a comfortable place to do it live now.
Yes, absolutely.
There was a point where, like, early on when the three of us got together,
Yeah.
where at least once an episode, you were like, cut that. I can't.
Yeah.
We cannot have that going out.
Well, we still have those moments at times, I feel like.
Right.
But you know what? When we know we're live, we know there's stakes. We know what
Right.
to say and what not to say. But mostly, we couldn't go live before because we just didn't have the infrastructure at my place.
At the home studio.
Yeah, to do a strong broadcast live.
Right.
And now we can. And because we can do that, and now I actually know how to work the board pretty well, so we can do lots of cool things and make it worth doing it
At
live.
the magical
Yeah.
iHeart
Yeah.
Studios.
Yes, exactly.
Holy
And
shit.
I'm going to go ahead and tweet this out. If you guys want to retweet it so we can try to get some
Yeah.
Let's do
live
that.
viewers, let me tag you both. We got AJ DeCosimo, who is on Twitter as AJ DeCosimo, and
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah.
And you can find my various comedic writings all over the internet.
I just
Including a
accidentally
book that-
retweeted somebody's cat, like thinking it was your tweet. I
Well,
untweeted that.
there we go. Tommy LC on Instagram and Twitter and OnlyFans and Fansly and all that stuff. And let me also share it out on Instagram. So, and I usually am better about doing this stuff a little bit, but because of everything going on today, I'm a little bit behind.
Do you think Post Malone's friends ever looked at him and were like, hey, you're a phony Maloney?
If they're his real friends, they would.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Post Malone. I wrote a joke a long time ago that Post Malone isn't actually a person. it marks a time of the world before Karl Malone and the world after Karl Malone.
Damn, Bill, you spelled your name wrong.
I spelled my own name wrong?
Mm-hmm.
You fucking idiot.
Where?
The Bill Squire Show live, but 1L.
Oh, 1L? Yeah, well,
Mhm.
It's
you know,
okay.
people like when you spell things wrong because then they're like, you
Engagement.
Have to, you have to, you spelled the wrong name wrong, you're so stupid.
I spell AJ with a $sign.
Yeah. So I'm going to.
Where?
All right,
No
so
way.
we are
Instead of
live.
the
Check us
periods.
out on on YouTube. You are on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube right
Yeah.
now.
The J and AJ stands for Lady Macbeth.
All right, so let me get this posted, and then we will talk about AJ and his good habits that are actually kind of a
Horrible.
bad habit.
Horrible.
So
Why? What did I do?
because of tonight because the Post Malone show and because of the Guardians game. I was like, we're gonna meet a little bit later, so it'll be easier to get into the garage.
It's currently 8:52.
Right. We're usually
wrapping up the show around now.
Around now, we usually start around 8, but we started a little later, and I was texting and corresponding with both of you as best I could, and I text Tommy, and
You did great.
she's calling me, and we're communicating. We're trying to figure out how we can get her into the garage
Because Tommy's lovely. She's a lovely person.
she's a lovely person, and she
Communicates.
She's very communicative.
She sees the texts, she knows the calls, and I say, hey, like the first text I sent out is take your time getting here because it's still kind of a mess, so no rush. And Tommy's like, well, I'm actually already down here, and she's like, but it says they made you go a different direction,
Yes.
and because of that, you had to flip around, and then you got to the garage, and you're like, oh, it says
Garage full.
mm-hmm.
Key access only.
Right. And
So I called Bill.
so she calls me, and I answer the phone, and I say, hey, just come up anyway. I was just there. It should be fine. There's plenty of parking spaces up top. We're not going to have a problem. And she's like, okay. And then I actually see her as she's pulling in, jump in her car. We go up to the top. No problems. AJ, when I knew all this, I sent you 3 text messages and called you. And I get no response about any of these things.
Well,
I even said
I'm driving.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm driving.
You're driving.
Right.
But you don't answer your phone when you're driving?
My phone was on silent, so I didn't even know.
Do you have it vibrating when it's on silent still?
Yeah, but it was like on my passenger seat, so I didn't know.
But you know that you're trying to get here. You're
No,
probably
I
trying
understand.
to be-
I've gotten here 1,000 times now.
You
I know
got
how-
here.
This
about-
isn't
We've
even
been
the
doing
kicker,
it like a
though.
month and a half.
Right.
So then I send you all the information you need.
Right, but hold on, Tommy. I want you to read the text he sends.
Okay.
Oh, do you have it?
No, I don't have
'cause I
it.
didn't send it to her. I sent it
Okay,
to you.
We
no, hold on. I'll
communicated.
pull it up. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. Okay. This one here. Read that. What does that say?
The garage says key card only, but you can come in and take a ticket, and I have a voucher for you to get out of the garage for free. And he sends you the address.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I get there. I get outside the fucking garage, and it says there's a big sign that says garage full.
Yeah, that's what mine said too.
Right.
Yeah, garage
right.
full, key
Yeah.
card access only.
Right, but that's different than saying key card access only versus garage full.
Well, I was giving you.
I did see that.
Right.
But that didn't insinuate that there was a big fucking sign that said garage full.
But it's the same sign. They're
No,
not two different signs.
I understand, but just
So you
Think they
couldn't
switched
extrapolate.
signs?
You can extrapolate the data that the garage. The reason it says key card access only is because the garage is full, which
But
it wasn't.
right, it wasn't. I parked in here just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference between reading that text and seeing like, oh, key card access only versus
Right.
garage
Which is
full.
why I called you,
Right, which I didn't get.
which you didn't get.
Which I didn't get.
So what we need to learn here is
Text and drive.
Yes.
text and drive, leave your ringer on,
Okay.
get an Apple Watch or a smartwatch or something so you get alerts or sync your
He's not
devices.
Apple. That's might be
Well,
the problem.
even if it's not Apple, they make smartwatches where you can get information.
I'm not a watch
Sent to your-
guy though.
Then get an smart goggles.
Smart goggles.
You can be the one person with those.
Do they
get-
have those? Do
Yeah.
they exist really?
Yeah.
hmm
Mm.
Is it Google Glass?
Yeah,
Or something
I mean,
Glass?
I don't think the Google Glass ones are operational anymore, but
Oh.
I'm sure you can get something like that. You can probably get some smart glasses.
Yeah.
And you already wear glasses, so you
I
look
do.
even smarter.
I know that's cool,
Yeah.
and I could watch the videos of the Bill Squire show while I'm driving.
I'm not mad about that.
Yeah,
You gotta
Gotta get those views.
Gotta get those views.
Yeah, gotta get the views up, dude.
And they'll know you're actually paying attention.
but you
because-
wouldn't have seen the difference though. You would have been like key card access only, and then I see a big sign that says
But-
garage
So,
full.
okay,
but you
so
also
here's
have to,
my
hold
thing.
on. But you also have to take into consideration I'm in like heavy traffic.
Right.
I'll be
I
honest.
see the big sign. I'm like, oh, garage full.
Right, but I
And then, but in the fine print,
yeah,
it said
but
key
when
card
I say
access only.
when I'm saying come into the garage, it's gonna be fine. Like I feel like I gave you enough information for you to understand that even with even though I left out the garage full aspect of it, you'd still be like, I trust Bill. I'm going into this garage.
So I did the same though because I had called him and then he texted me the same thing and I said, but it does say full, and then we did clarify that. But
So I didn't get
no.
the luxury of that
Right.
clarification.
No, I know you
because
didn't.
you didn't answer your phone.
Yeah, but you didn't answer the phone.
And you didn't.
I'm
You
owning,
waited to call
I'm
me.
owning up to the part where I didn't answer the phone.
We just want you to.
I'm
say,
owning up to that.
Yeah.
We just want you to start texting and driving. That's all we want you to do.
Okay, I'm gonna start texting and driving now, Bill.
Just a little bit. There's safe ways to do it. You don't have to be texting, like having a conversation, but checking your phone real quick to get information. And even when you picked up your phone to call me, you didn't. I mean, I guess I didn't give
was
you
like-
enough information.
I was like fucking pretty much parked right out here
yeah.
by the time I called you. Like
Right.
I was in like stopped traffic.
Well, that would have been a good
It would-
time to check your phone.
Yes, to
Stop
talk if it was
traffic.
stopped.
Yeah.
But
That's a
even if
great
I
time.
saw that message, I would have been like, "What?"
You could have called me,
And I did call you.
but you could have called me a little bit
I
sooner.
did call you. See, now he's moving the fucking goalposts.
I'm allowed to.
Oh, that's right. It's his show.
Yeah, it's the Bill Squire show.
It's the
man.
Bill Squire show.
And, yeah.
Just
so-
text and drive.
It's the Bill Squire
text,
show.
Text and drive a little bit.
When
Don't do it all the time.
when Bill can't show up, we can't just like have Pants fill in or Sam Roberts or Annie.
Yeah. Maybe Sam Roberts could. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's change the topic real quick.
Okay.
All right. Let me adjust. You know what? I'll just bring it right over full screen. And let me get you some volume here.
Okay. What do we got going?
Hey everyone, we're extremely sad to have missed D23, but we've been working very hard on the next Deadpool film for a good long while now. I've had to really search my soul on this one. His first appearance in the MCU obviously needs to feel special. We need to stay true to the character, finding depth, motivation, meaning.
Every Deadpool needs to stand out and stand apart. It's been an incredible challenge that has forced me to reach down deep inside.
And I have nothing. Yeah, just completely empty up here and terrifying. But we did have one idea. Hey, Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
I forgot to turn this back on. Okay. Yeah. I muted this.
Wow.
All right. Bring that back. over.
When did that say that's coming out?
2 years.
2 years from now.
Holy
24.
we got
Holy
a while.
butts. When did that come out? I didn't see
Today,
Today.
or yesterday?
Oh my
I
God.
think it was
Text and
today.
drive.
that. I was busy all day
Yeah.
today. I didn't even know that came out.
Mhm.
How exciting.
Yeah. Right.
Hugh Jackman's coming
Hugh
back?
Jackman is coming back.
Wow.
to-
How exciting.
Is he going to
Be
actually be in the
Wolverine.
movie though? Do we think it's just a fucking?
No, I think
Yeah,
if
he's
they're
gonna be
doing
in the movie.
I think if they're doing
Tease that
this,
big.
they have to do a Deadpool movie with a significant amount of Wolverine. You can't just be a cameo. I think if
Yeah.
you're doing it this way, you're saying, "All right, let's do the thing that we wanted to do since we thought of doing a Deadpool movie, which has had
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine and hopefully Spider-Man all interacting together because the MCU needs this.
Mhm.
They need a fucking slam dunk.
Can we
because
be honest? They've been dipping a little bit.
I mean,
They've been dipping a little bit.
I've been enjoying She-Hulk for what it is,
right.
but it feels weird because it's so tonally different than
Mhm.
everything else in the MCU. Love and Thunder I enjoyed, but it wasn't like one of the best things, and it feels pretty inconsequential to the overall
arc of what's
arc
going
of
on.
what's going on. It's very, a standalone
Yeah.
Thor film. None of the new stuff has really.
Really been gripping you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved WandaVision, but Multiverse of Madness was just kind of like, it was good,
Mhm.
but it had a lot of not.
It doesn't
yeah.
feel the same.
Yeah. Right.
It doesn't feel the same. And not saying like I don't still like it. I
Mhm.
still won't follow it. Like they're doing these things. They could have my money.
Right.
Like I'm just gonna throw my money
yeah.
at
Yeah.
them.
And
Like,
now, I'm not-
regardless of what they do. But that doesn't mean that I'm enjoying it as much as I did. I just feel like the stakes aren't there.
Mhm.
right. And you have things like Black Panther 2, which I'm very excited about that, but also
They should have just recast
gonna be weird,
Chadwick
too.
Boseman.
yeah, it's gonna be weird, and I feel
Boseman.
like they're gonna be doing a lot of gymnastics to make it into the,
Maybe it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
They should have just recasted him, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
If Michael Keaton would have died, they would have recasted Batman.
They
They've
should
recasted
have cast
Batman.
Michael Keaton as
Black Panther?
Ed Norton left.
Yeah.
They recasted him.
Right.
It's like saying like what like only Chadwick
I mean-
Boseman could play Black Panther.
Right.
It's just like there's a million great actors out there that could play Black Panther.
Mhm.
Why? I don't like it.
And also, it's not. I mean, let's be honest about the Black Panther character. Was Chadwick Boseman great as him? Yes, but was it? He's not the most interesting character in that movie.
No,
Yeah.
By like any means.
no.
He's not really all
But
that
well-
quippy or funny or anything like
well,
that.
Michael B. Jordan was the best character.
Oh, absolutely.
Killmonger was the best
Yeah.
character in that entire
Well,
movie.
my original idea was just say, hey, we're just gonna make Killmonger, and not even we're gonna make Michael B. Jordan T'Challa,
Yeah.
and not even
Don't even acknowledge
just
that
be
he
like,
was.
that he was
He was
Killmonger. Just be like,
Killmonger.
all right,
Yeah.
you're the guy now.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think they should recast him. But
Yeah.
we'll see how it. And it might be great. They might have made an awesome movie. But I feel like we're gonna get 2 Black Panthers in that film.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna get
Shuri.
Shuri, and I think who's the guy that's in Us?
I always forget his
David
name.
no, not David Ollowell.
No.
Daniel Kaluuya.
No,
that's Get Out.
That's Get Out.
That's what you just said.
What's the other one?
No, you didn't. You said.
Oh, you said Us.
You said
Oh,
Us.
that
Us,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, I forget that guy's name.
Yeah, he played the guy that challenged
Yeah.
T'Challa at the beginning. Is it T'Challa?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Wait, did he?
Yeah.
Is that actor?
Yeah, it's that guy.
Now I'm trying to figure out.
It's him.
Yeah, and so someone just asked 2 Black Panthers. Yeah, so I think what's going to happen is it's going to pass to Shuri, and she's going to have like a different mission though, and so then they're gonna be like, well, we need somebody else, and then they're gonna give it to a more traditional male figure or something. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm completely speculating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah,
I think we've talked about it, but I don't know that
They should just
they can't have her do
recasted
it.
him.
They
Like you
won't.
said, it's just gonna be a whole bunch of gymnastics, and now it's just like I'm getting robbed of seeing a Black Panther.
right. But I yeah, it's such a really what it comes down to is why'd you have to die? Why'd you have
Damn it.
to die? That one hit me hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was sad.
That one hit me because it was just so out of nowhere, and I was just like, how did that?
How'd
How do we
that
not
go
know
down?
about that? We had no,
Mhm.
and then it just
And
it
like
was
all
a
the stuff, like
bummer.
looking back, all the
Yeah.
pictures where people were like leaving mean comments about him losing weight and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like he was just hiding this whole
Yeah.
sickness from everyone.
Queen Elizabeth's death came out of nowhere for me.
I
and
had
that's
no
how I
Talk
idea
about
that
mean
was gonna
comments.
happen.
Right. Talk about that. It's just like, holy butts. I thought she had another 20, 30 years left. So young. So young.
It does make me feel good that I am not someone that goes, well, this human looks physically different. Let's be mean to them.
Right.
That's such a weird way for people's brains to work, to be like, oh, this actor's lost a bunch of weight.
Let's comment on it.
Let's be not even just comment on it, but
Mean.
let's be mean about it.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just yeah.
Makes no
It's
sense.
fascinating.
People are insane.
So many.
Is it fascinating?
It's fascinating.
I mean, I like
Fascinating.
text and drive. Then you can...
It's interesting.
All right.
That's fascinating.
So we do have some news. Well, not news, but AJ, what happened? so
All right.
okay, so
Do you have the
AJ's
picture? Do you have the picture?
yeah. Hold on, let me
Uh-oh.
frame this up here. Whoop,
Okay.
not that
Put
one.
it up. I'll put it up on the board here, and
Yeah.
I'll explain it. Can our listening audience see it?
Which board?
I don't know.
Hold on,
Screen?
I got it.
All right. So there's some backstory here. So everyone, I've been seeing this lady for a
Yeah.
few months now,
Hold on. Yeah, get that backstory going. I'll get this picture
and
up here.
in the last like week or so, she's been like in pain, like in her stomach. I'm like, huh, that's weird, and it's been like progressively getting worse and
Are
worse.
you guys having a baby?
No.
Okay.
No. I won't do that.
Okay.
I won't do that.
Good.
No. Thank God. They'd be like, oh, we're taking a trip to Pennsylvania. We're going to Erie.
Yay.
No. That's not what happened. But she's been like in pain,
not right.
like
Mhm.
in her stomach. And I'm like, you should probably go to the doctor.
Mhm.
Like, right? Because like,
Yeah.
you lady parts.
I have stomach issues. all
You
the
you
time.
ladies and your reproductive organs, they're all complicated. They
Yeah.
don't need to be that way.
But they are.
Right, dudes are pretty simple. It's all on the outside. It's just a couple. There, we got one thing on the inside. It's the prostate. Which, by the way, do you know
Okay.
what the prostate actually does?
I do.
A lot
Oh.
of
I don't
women-
know.
I know
if
one of the things it
Yeah.
does. Okay, so I got the
for
picture
your,
up.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
know.
Okay,
I
so
got the picture up.
so women like to make fun of us, right, for like not knowing how like periods work.
I don't know what the fuck. None of the
Right.
guys that I'm with are into that. But
Well, no, but it's
Are
like an
into
important
periods?
no, into
thing into the prostate
yeah,
massage.
the prostate massage.
Yeah,
so
but
I
it's
guess
not
I've never
there.
really thought about it since school.
Yeah, but
so I
right,
don't
but
know.
it's in our body, and do you know what it does?
No, what does it do?
It lubricates the semen. It
Ew.
lubricates the sperm
Mm-hmm.
with fluid
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh.
like projects it out. Like it's
Okay.
the thing that
That's what gives you the distance.
yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prostate's the
Yeah.
hey, what's up, buddy?
I thought maybe it was
Yeah.
gonna be something different, like
No,
even more important.
no. That's all it does.
What's that guy doing?
I have no clue.
I don't know, but stop engaging.
I know.
don't know. It's kinda weird.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
So yes, the
So-
prostate
Yeah.
makes it shoot out.
This
which-
has the prostate has
Nothing
nothing.
to do,
Her
yeah.
prostate's bad.
Okay. Damn.
All right.
is what I'm getting at.
so
So she's been in a lot of pain. She's
Mhm.
been in, and over the few days, it's been getting like progressively worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you should probably go to the doctor. She's like, I'm gonna wait one more day. I'm like, all right, fine, wait one more day, whatever. I don't care. Like, what is? It's not my body. Your body, your rules.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Falls under everything, right? I can't. I'm
For
not your
sure.
dad. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. So we get to Friday. Friday, she goes to the doctor. She gets tested. She has a UTI.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, I've worked in a field where a lot of people got UTIs. I'm like, doesn't really sound like a UTI.
Mhm.
Like, I'm like, there's something else happening.
right.
In my head, I'm like, there's got to be something else happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay. But once again, I'm not a doctor. And it came back that she had a UTI.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, she has a urinary tract infection, whatever. So Saturday rolls around. She's like, hey, do you want to go to the Secret Society comedy? Let's plug the Secret Society comedy show.
Yeah, they're great.
For a second. It's
They're-
fantastic.
They're great.
It's a follow the room type show.
Yeah, it's follow the room or don't tell. Follow at Secret Society Comedy on Instagram, and
No.
they'll let you know where the shows are and who's going to be on them. I've done them a bunch of times. I've had amazing people drop in and do sets on the shows that I've been on. Mark Norman's been there.
Yep.
Brent Terhune.
I've done it.
Who's AJ, which is great because we always like to see him out doing stand up. Who's the girl from Guys We Fucked?
Corinne Fisher or
Yes.
Christina?
Yeah, she's been on there.
Corinne
Yeah.
Fisher was there a couple weeks ago.
And whenever I show up like to these things, it's like everybody's so happy to see me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe you can appreciate this about me, Bill.
Yeah.
Let me make this about me. I said day one, I'm
Because
never,
you
I'm
know
never
why
gonna shoot those up.
they're excited
Why?
because like we've been trying to contact you, but you never fucking answer your texts or your calls.
No, I did this early on. Is I'm never gonna ask for stage time. Like if I show up, I'm never gonna be like, hey, do you got a spot? I'm never gonna do that. I never ask people
Mm-hmm.
for a spot. And then
Why?
Why? Because I know that everybody's asking people for a spot.
Okay, but so what?
No, I don't want to be like that other person. Be like, hey man, do you got a spot?
Yeah, but there's so as a guy that runs a show,
Yeah. Well, you always gave them to me.
right.
Like,
but
whenever
I
I
also
show up, you're like, hey, do you want to do 5? Yeah, I'll do 5.
yeah, but not everybody's gonna do that.
Right. That's true.
So like, why not just say
ask.
if I can? But you don't have to like throw a fit if you don't get it.
No, I
Just-
absolutely.
right.
I
So
never
you-
do.
so-
I never
so-
do. But more often than not, people ask me to do it
So why not just ask?
because more often than not, people ask me to do
All right.
it.
Well.
But I don't know. I don't know. I just have this thing in my head. It's just like, like a lot of people want like
Yeah.
the spot more. So I'm like, I'll let them have it unless I'm
Mhm.
asked. But that's not.
You gotta want it more. You gotta want it.
You gotta want it.
That's why he
You
doesn't
gotta
text the
want it.
drive because he doesn't want it. enough.
Right.
Because I don't want it
Oh.
enough.
Mhm.
She wants to go to the Secret Society show
Mhm.
at Heart of Gold.
11:30 is when they start.
11:30.
So it's late at night.
Changes the room every time. She wants to go. I'm like, are you sure that's a good idea? Like, you've been like, not feeling well. Maybe we just kind of like hang out tonight. And she's just like, no, I want to go. I'm going to take some Advil. I'm like, okay, cool. So we get there. We hang out there for about an hour. And she goes, I kind of want to go. I'm like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew you were going to want to go. which is fine. So we left about an
Mm-hmm.
hour in. We get back to her place, and she's like, "You want to watch a movie?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "What do you want to watch?" I'm like, "Dr. Strangelove." Have you ever seen that movie?
No,
It's one of my favorite movies.
I have not.
It's one of my
I've never
favorite.
seen it either,
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. We're putting it on, and about like a quarter into the movie, she's like writhing in pain, like bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Will you fucking stop?"
Stop
like-
being in pain.
No, not stop being in pain.
Stop letting me know.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's just like what, like let's
I have my
just. I was just
notifications,
like,
my phone's on silent
I'll
for a
take you
reason.
to the ER.
Mhm.
Like let's just go to the ER.
Yeah.
She's like, "No, I'm gonna wait it out one more day." I'm like, "You've been waiting a fucking week."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting like mad at this point.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm getting like, because this is fucking preposterous. Like
Right.
I even said that. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Because it's not like it's a nagging slight pain. Like
Right.
it's
It's pain.
destroying her.
Right. There's like a different. Like I
Yeah.
know when to throw in the towel.
Right.
And go to the doctor.
And because you have worked in the medical field,
Right.
you know,
I've
hey, this
seen
is-
enough.
Let's do this.
I've seen enough to where, like, okay, so I've broken bones.
Mhm.
I've sprained everything in my body at some point.
Right.
I know the difference.
Have
I know
you
what
ever
I
flipped
need.
a Porsche a bunch of times.
Right. I've had gallstones. I've had gallstones. I've had mysterious shit show up on my
Yeah.
body, and then it finds out I have a rare blood disease, and they yank my fucking spleen out.
Right.
I know when to go to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't fuck around with shit in your gut
Mm-hmm.
or with something when you hit your head. Something going on with your head. Don't fuck around with that.
Right.
She's just like, I can wait till tomorrow. She was just like, I'll just go tomorrow if I'm feeling this way. I'm like, okay, you wait tomorrow, your appendix bursts and you fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? Like, why? Like, this is like needless. This is not necessary. And I was like, I made up my mind. I was like, if she winces one more fucking time, I'm just going home. Like, I'm just going home. Because in my head, I'm just like,
You're
there-
offering a solution.
I'm offering a
Yeah.
solution. She's not taking it. I'm sitting here.
Here's something. What I've noticed with girls,
Yeah.
they hate a solution. They just want to be heard. They just want to be heard.
Dude, I'm like laying there. I'm laying there.
I like
Wh-
solutions.
One of my
Well, that's
one of my
good to know.
all-time favorite movies is
Yeah.
is up on the screen. I can't fucking enjoy it because she's wincing in pain. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to sleep. I can't fucking sleep because she's wincing. I'm in this weird fever dream where I'm just like, I made up my mind. I'm like, if she does this one more time, I'm leaving. I'm just gonna let her be in pain because that's just what she wants.
Because she's being stubborn
Mhm.
about
She's
it.
being stubborn
Because
about
you did offer help. It's not like
Right.
you're like, I
it.
don't.
And I was nice
so
about
annoying
it.
Yeah.
for
I was
being
nice
in
about
pain.
it for
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
For days. So but then she goes, she waves a white flag, and
Mm,
she's
she-
just like, "Will you take me to the ER?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah.
So we go to the ER, and it's weird. Like the second she gets into the ER, it's like her spirits change. It's like I'm in the right place. Like I'm gonna get seen and everything's gonna be fine. I'm like, and then I remember, and then she's like in the hospital bed. And I'm like sitting there. I'm like, your tone like is like totally different now. Like it's like a totally different person. Like
Hmm.
if you were totally like if you were like this when we were back at your place, I would be like, yeah, wait till tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know they run a bunch of tests. And I, by the way, I was a hit with the doctor. The
Of
doctor
course you
loved
were.
me.
Oh, yeah?
Like she goes, they're just like, here, you got to go to the bathroom in the cup. I'm like, don't shit in it. And she's like,
You're
and
like,
then-
hey, I didn't get a set tonight at Secret Society.
Right.
Right.
But I'm
This is it.
killing
right, but I'm
at
killing
the ER.
at Lakewood Hospital. So she's just like, oh no, I can't shit in that. I haven't shit in days. I'm like,
Why not bring that up?
and then that's when my gears are turning. I'm like, oh wait a second, you haven't shit in days. I'm like, Then she goes to the bathroom in the cup, and then the doctor comes in. I'm like, yeah, you're getting ready for the old taste test. You're gonna drink it up.
I love how this story about his girlfriend being in severe pain is also a vehicle for him to get off some one-liners.
Yes, I love
Dude,
it.
Yeah,
A
no,
previous
it's-
girlfriend. I've never told this story. I'm going to come back to this. A previous girlfriend I was seeing was a diabetic. She was diabetic, and she was sleeping over one night, and she was like ready to pass out. Like her sugar was like super low, and I didn't have anything in the house. It was like 4 a.m. I'm like, do you want me to like go to the store and get you like juice or something? She's just like, yeah. I'm like, what'll happen if I don't? She's like, I might like die. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get you some juice. So I go to like CVS at like 4 a.m, and I get like and then I get there. I'm like, man, what juice would she like? Because I know how you ladies can be. I get the
They can
apple
be
juice.
picky.
You gotta get the
They
right
can be
juice.
Right,
picky.
right. So I'm like, why don't you? I'm spending an inordinate amount of time deciding what juice to get. I'm like, does she want to have? So I get all the juice, and then I go to the front, I'm like buying the juice, and the cute girl behind the counter is just like, why are you buying a bunch of juice at like 4 a.m? I'm like, my girlfriend's diabetic. She might be dying right now. She's like, that's so sweet. I'm like, I know. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
And then I'm like chatting it up with her for a couple minutes. I'm like, well, I should probably go back and tend
Give
to my
her,
ailing
Right.
lady. So I get back. She's like, what took so long? I'm like, I met the nicest cashier.
I was flirting.
Right. I was flirting with someone.
I was just making arrangements just in case you did die while I
Right.
was gone. I had
Need a
another
backup.
girl
I had a
lined
backup.
up. Yeah.
I had a backup. So where was I?
Okay, you're at the ER.
I'm at the ER.
You said taste test.
Taste test.
the urine.
And they come and take the urine, and about a half hour goes by. I'm like, I'm gonna go out and have a cigarette. So I go out and I have a cigarette.
Did the doctor know she hadn't pooped yet?
I don't know if she brought that up to him
Okay.
in the meantime. So, ooh,
Nice.
thank you. That was a Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
I go out and smoke. I come back in, and we're just talking for a little bit, and the doctor still hasn't come yet. She's just like, I went and got X-rays,
Oh, she had a huge shit.
and in my head, I'm like, wait a second.
Been there.
So let's go through the X-ray.
I'm like, hold on. No, let's not go to the X-ray yet.
Okay.
So I'm like, wait a second, and then that was when my gears started turning even more. I'm like, they didn't find anything in your urine sample. So they found something in your urine sample. They're not going to make you take an X-ray.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Oh no.
So I'm like thinking, I'm not saying anything. I'm just like, there's something in her, inside her, like in my head, and I don't want to freak her out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's something going on in her gut.
Yeah.
So the doctor comes back in. He like pulls his mask on. He's like, you're really fucking constipated. And I'm like, and we both like are like, thank God.
Yeah.
We're just fucking constipated, and
Yeah.
your appendix is gonna fucking burst. So he shows us the X-ray. You want to pull up the X-ray?
Let's do the X-ray now.
Yeah.
All right. Pull that
So
up
let's
there.
pull that up.
And
He shows us the X-ray.
where's the all
The
the
upper
poop?
right quadrant.
it
Look at that fucking turd.
This is all the poop.
That's all of her poop.
Okay. That is insane.
That is insane. And it was right where she was like saying, right where
Yeah.
the fucking appendix is. That's like pushing on her spine.
I didn't know
That's happened to me before.
I didn't know poop was up that high, that
Oh,
long.
yes.
Okay.
No,
I
it like
thought-
wouldn't move.
Yeah.
It wouldn't move. I'm like, ask her, I'm like, well, are you pooping? She's like, just like a rabbit, like little pellets.
Dehydrated.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm
Listen,
trying to
I'm
bring
a
the
pro
mouse
with this,
over.
I know
Okay,
it.
got it. All right.
Dude, that upper right quadrant where all that black is there.
All right, give me this thing back because I
Yeah.
can't get the mouse to come back to my screen. All right, got it. All right.
Ugh.
That's
Tell her
that's
I feel
insane.
for
that's
her.
so much poop. So what did they do to get it out?
They just gave her a bunch of shit.
Like a bunch of laxatives.
Yeah, just
and
like a
stuff?
bunch of laxatives and
And
stuff.
then she just had a grand old time.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
she-
They just
did you
gave
take
her
a
bunch
picture of
laxatives.
it when she finally
Of her
got
poop?
It? Yeah,
No.
I would.
No. She
I
did
would've.
say,
Should have.
She did say, which I thought was hilarious. She was like, "Yeah, I took a Tony Shalhoub," because you know who I'm seeing. Like
Right,
she's
yes.
really funny.
Yeah.
She has her moments where she's like really funny, and I just like died. I'm
Yeah.
like, "You took Tony Shalhoub,"
And an odd amount of Tony Shalhoub humor.
right? Yeah, so that's what happened Saturday. She was just like, and then she's like fucking, taking selfies in the
Right.
hospital.
We're getting
This means that she's a true hot girl.
Yeah, right.
Tummy problems.
that is a thing, right?
Mhm.
Isn't that your
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone through the same thing. I had to get scans because my stomach was hurting, and like it just happened to be a day where I was really constipated. They're like, we can see your shit in here, so we know it's not another issue. Here's these meds. I'm like, damn, I wish I'd have gotten a picture though.
Yeah.
I want to look at my shit.
Well, she just
I bet
took
mine's
a,
bigger.
She just took a picture of the screen. Like she
Love
didn't
it.
get the actual X-rays. But I'm like,
she should
holy,
have asked for him. Can I have this? Oh my God. Ask for it and then frame it for her.
I will, yeah.
or you can
Or just take the
yeah, take the
screenshot and frame it for her.
You can make that into a
True.
nice be like
Yeah.
we bonded this night.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Take it to another level.
And I was so mad. I was so mad. I'm like,
Afterwards
no,
or just before? Okay.
Before, I'm
then
like,
she
why
wouldn't
the
go.
fuck are you doing this?
Well, that's why, because all she had to do is shit, and now she spent
Right,
all
but-
that money.
right,
And
but no,
I've been there. Listen. I know
no,
what
but
she's
like
saying.
she wasn't going to. Like that wasn't gonna move.
Yeah, that's not a shit that you were taking care of without a doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, they just gave her meds. I have laxatives, baby. I'm on so many meds.
Oh well,
Shit, tell her to go see a doctor. Have her call me.
Yeah, we're gonna call you next time.
Okay.
We're gonna a Tommy consultation.
Tommy,
Yes.
the shit queen.
Yeah.
You shit queen.
All right. Let me
Poor,
get
that
to-
sucks. Dang.
Yeah.
What a night. What a romantic evening.
Yeah.
I'm glad it all worked out. It wasn't.
Well,
anything
yeah. I mean, it
serious.
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
like
for sure.
serious, but like I'm just like, oh my god, the pain.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then just the fact that like she wouldn't do anything about it. Maybe it was like, I'm like so fucking mad.
Tommy Michael says you're so damn sexy. Oh, wait,
Right
so
now?
damn.
Oh, is it because
sexy.
I'm talking about shit?
Yeah, that's right.
Could be.
That's it. I mean, it's not that.
Nobody
That
hits
might-
nobody hits on me in the chat. Fucking.
So damn
Not at the
sexy.
moment.
Sexy as shit.
Not at the moment. But don't.
I love
take it
our
personal.
listeners and our viewers.
Don't
but
take it personal.
No, I'm not.
All
No,
right.
I'm a little.
So I mentioned a name to you
Yeah.
when we were walking in. A comedian named Rob O'Reilly.
Yeah.
He is a comedian from this area. We started around the same time, but he started when he went to college. He went to Boston University,
Okay.
and then he would come back in the summers, and we'd run into each other and do shows, and got to know each other a little bit, and we'd hang out. And you know, as you do over the years, you get to know different comics, and we'd run into each other in New York and LA, and you know, we were, I'd say, friends at one point, and then we kind of drifted apart. But he is in the news.
What do you do?
So he was working on Carnival Cruise Line, doing comedy shows on there, which those gigs pay great. They're very lucrative gigs, and they have you do several shows throughout the week. There'll be like a family friendly show, and then like a clean show, but it's for adults, like a PG-13 show, and then they do like a
late night dirty
like
show.
a late night dirty R-rated show. And so I'm guessing that this performance was at the
So weird. So I just got a text about this seconds ago.
really.
Yeah, from Liz Blanc.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hold on. Can I
Well,
bring
so-
it? Comedian blast fire use N-word on Carnival Cruise Line.
Oh,
So
I don't know. The guy,
so
but-
he would do what was my Monday show, Great Lakes. When I do Great Lakes Brewing Company on Mondays a few years ago, he was there pretty regular because he had moved back from LA. I heard reasons that he had moved back. I'm not going to get into any of that because I don't know.
Because that's speculative.
That's very speculative. But I'm going to.
It's conjecture.
Yeah. So the headline is comedian under fire, like AJ just read. Comedian under fire, fired by Carnival Cruises for using N-word. And the reason Liz knows who he is because she's been out in LA, but she's also
Right.
would be at Great Lakes pretty regularly and see him do comedy. And everything he did at Great Lakes was, I mean, some of it would bomb, but it wasn't anything like using the N-word. I never
Right.
saw him use the N-word. He had some, you know, dark humor and stuff like that, but I never saw him be outwardly racist. And then he went viral on TikTok, and I'll go ahead. Unfortunately, they did not catch the video of him
saying it.
saying it. So this is the response by the crowd when he
I mean, that's a good thing though. Nobody was recording the show.
right, and that's what the girl says.
Yeah.
She's like, well, when you go to a comedy club,
You're
they
not
tell you
supposed-
not
yeah,
to
yeah.
record, so we didn't record. But then he used the N-word twice pretty casually,
Damn.
and that's when we started
Twice.
recording.
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
Whoa.
So this is the video that
Not
she
an
posted, and it is.
Do you remember the whole thing about if you're easily offended, get the fuck out?
Oh,
I'll be honest. Here's the thing. I'm sorry I offended you, okay? But the fact that you are clearly sensitive means you should just leave. Just leave.
all right. Bring that
Wow.
back over here. So then do you want to hear her explanation as well?
Yes.
Okay. Here, let's go with her explanation too. All right. I'll bring that back over to you. Bam.
night, and as I'm going through you guys' comments on the video, there are two questions that keep coming up, and I wanted to step on and address those two questions. And the two questions are, where's the video of him actually saying the N-word? And then the second question is, what is the name of the comedian? Also, sorry for the late response. I'm currently still on the cruise, so the service is not the greatest. So anyway, for the first question, so if you're familiar with comedy shows and stuff, when you arrive, they're like, oh, be sure to put your phone away and don't record anything, because that way they can, like, you know, reuse the same stuff. Or
Let me just say how much I appreciate that they're like, okay, we'll put our phones away, because that's
Yeah.
that is a nice thing to do.
Yeah, I wasn't being sarcastic when I
Right,
said that. I'm
yeah.
like, you know,
whatever the case is, but you're not supposed to record anything at the comedy show. So of course we go in and we didn't record anything. So then as the show was going on, at some point, he just casually says the N-word. So then I'm looking at my friend like, wait, am I tripping, or did he just say the N-word? So in the middle of us doubting ourselves, trying to figure out, did he just say the N-word? In the middle of us trying to figure out if he said it or not, he goes ahead and just says it again casually. And I'm like, oh, he did actually say it. So that's why there's no video, because it's like, you're not supposed to record. So we weren't recording until he said it. And then I was like, okay. And then that's when we started recording. So yeah, and as you saw his reaction after somebody said something. So somebody was like, hey, can you not use that word? And he didn't. His response to it wasn't even great. And you guys saw the video of him telling us we can go ahead and get out. And then the second question is, what is the comedian's name? The comedian's name is Rob O'Reilly. That's the comedian's name. His name is Rob O'Reilly. Yeah, so that's it for me.
All right, so there you have it. Rob O'Reilly, and what makes me, like, obviously, what makes me the most angry is him using the word.
Yeah.
But then the audience replying the way they do when he goes, if you're easily offended, get the fuck out. And the audience is like all white people cheering, going,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, I'm not offended by that word. How fucking gross.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's really fucking gross.
Well, I
that
imagine most people
On a cruise. Carnival cruise,
casually
like that.
say it in their life, minus
Yeah.
that lovely lady who was offended.
It's just a wild thing to think that, like, I had a time in my comedy career where I was trying to be the edgy guy, and this is, a long time ago, but I'm going to own up to it. Like, I used it on open mics and stuff because I thought I could, like, get away with it because I was being smart and I wasn't really racist. But then when I look back at it and go, oh, I was racist because I was completely disrespecting their request.
I told you an anecdote last week about how I told a joke. I was running it by some comics, and one of the comics was just like, hey, that's racist. And I'm like, and I didn't think that it would because I was too caught up in the wordplay and the wit of it.
Yeah.
Not thinking that, oh, I'm propagating negative stereotypes about a group of people. Like, it didn't even occur to me because I was like, ooh, because you know how, like, you write a joke, you stumble upon it, you get really excited.
Right.
And you want to share it. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
And they point it out and you go, oh, I'm going to take that.
Yeah, and I was embarrassed
understand,
about
like,
it.
it's not that smart of a joke.
Because
you know, clever a joke.
You know me, I get dark,
Yeah.
but I don't touch on that stuff.
Right.
Really.
And you don't, and that's why when you told me that joke, because you said a comedian told me this was racist, I could totally see how it completely went over your head because there is a lot of wordplay in it. But
And there's a lot of wordplay how I write
right,
jokes.
Yeah. So, but he pointed out, and
I never told it.
Yeah, you go, oh, I'm not gonna do that joke.
Yeah.
And
And
it
there
sounds
was
like he didn't even have a joke from, like, the way she's talking about it. It sounds like he was
Used
just
it willy-nilly.
using it. Yeah, and then he's like, what, you get offended when a white guy uses? Yeah, they do, which is, they're right, which it is why, like, there's, and you're on a cruise ship using this word.
You know how
You're not at the, like, some edgy place, like, you're on a cruise ship using it, and like, you're supposed to be pretty bland on cruise ships.
Yeah.
I know the guys that work cruise ships, and they're very funny comics, but they're not trying to push
The envelope.
the envelope of edgy comedy. Not that I even think that's pushing the envelope using that word. I think it's lazy, and I think it is like I've never heard a joke that a white guy tells where they need to use the word.
Do you think comics can come back from mess ups? Like, do you think comics are allowed?
Absolutely.
I think so
Right.
too.
I
as a
think so, too.
non-comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, do you think?
But men can't. And
Well, it's really easy. You keep a tribe of people, you run jokes by them, and when they fucking tell you no, you listen to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you get called out on your bullshit, instead of trying to defend your bullshit,
and
just
say,
Learn
apologize.
from it. Just
And
try
say,
to learn from it.
I
don't know.
shouldn't do that. And I'm really bothered by that audience just screaming and cheering like, if you're easily offended, fuck you. When it's not, of course, if you're a white person, you're not going to be offended by that the way a black person is. And it's just really ignorant to react that way.
Yeah. This brings me to an interesting point that I was thinking about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think kind of along the same lines of like, does a comic deserve forgiveness?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We have a guy in town. We've talked about him ad nauseum, Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Right. Not universally. There's definitely a section of people who not only don't care about the allegations against him, but actually think it's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And
they
Make
they're
shirts
abusing-
about it.
Yeah, make shirts about it. They
jokes,
brought the massage table out.
Yeah.
With the guy with the
Which is
boner,
gross.
Real gross.
Even if he was,
Yeah.
know, deemed, he's deemed not guilty, but I think the evidence. Well, hold on.
Yeah.
The evidence is he's clearly not innocent.
Right.
So, what about Mike Tyson? He's universally loved. And I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, why is a guy like Mike Tyson like universally loved and like celebrated for not only being one of the most feared athletes in the history of American sports, but international sports? And Deshaun Watson is condemned, and Tyson did time, right? He did 3 years for rape, like violent rape. And he's universally like loved and admired.
But is he?
I think it
I wanna
seems like
say-
he's in movies.
I
like,
think he-
people love that guy.
I think there is a large amount of people that do love him, but he's not somebody that I look at and go, man, I love Mike Tyson.
Well,
I still
I think
You don't associate him with that. It doesn't feel
here's
like.
the difference.
you don't. Well, I think if you're a certain age, you
Yeah, that's.
you
I
have-
think that's what
you
it is.
associate him with.
You would
rape.
he,
Like,
oh,
that's-
he was the sweet guy in the Hangover movie.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Like
When I think of Mike Tyson, he was the guy from the video game, and then he was the rapist, and then he
Right.
was the guy that bit off the ear.
Yeah.
So
That's what I know. Not
Yeah.
as familiar
So
with that story.
you can,
honestly.
and again, I don't think you can't forgive people,
right.
but you also have to go through some sort of
Atonement.
atonement.
Well,
and
he did
Deshaun
it-
Watson
he-
hasn't done
right.
that.
Well, that's the thing. Mike Tyson did his time.
Mhm.
He owned up to it.
That's what I was
Right.
gonna say.
and
that
and,
probably.
and goes like, I did these things.
Right.
They were terrible,
Yes.
and I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And is that
Because I think rehabilitation is
Mhm.
possible and is a thing.
It's important.
Now, it's incredibly important.
Doesn't happen as much as
Right.
as it should, but
And that's what you're not getting from Deshaun Watson, because
Right.
what you're getting from Deshaun Watson is complete denial of any wrongdoing.
And obviously, these are complete extremes. But
Right.
like we're talking about, like, let's bring it back to the comedian perspective. Like, you have a guy like, I don't know who's it, like Michael Richards.
Michael Richards is the perfect example.
Like, he seems to have been completely not absolved, but for what he said on stage.
Right.
But like, you saw that Curb season where they did the Seinfeld reunion,
Yeah.
and JB Smoove was just like, "Nah, man, you're Kramer. Like, I don't care." Like, because it just seemed like he was genuinely sorry. It seemed like he had a really bad moment.
Right. And I think Rob will probably have that moment where he's genuinely sorry. But Rob is also a guy that isn't on that level. So what he's known for is
going to be this now.
This now.
Yeah.
So
sucks.
trying to be anything else is going to be very difficult, because it's not like Shane Gillis, where he was a guy that got on SNL and then they uncovered some audio from a podcast, got fired. He at least was able to rebound from that because they're like, oh, well, he got on SNL first. So we learned his name from
Yeah.
SNL first, and then we found out about this, and then he was able to go on a bunch of podcasts and be like, hey, here's my side of the story.
Yeah.
And people loved him, and, he's having a
And-
very successful career. Now, maybe that's what Rob O'Reilly does is there's a bunch of people going like, oh, I think you should be able to say it because there is a large amount of people that will support that.
And
I
the
mean,
fact
look
that
at
like you don't get it, like there was a lot of people say, well, how come black people can say it to each other and white people can't say it? It's just like you really don't get that.
they get it.
Right.
Like no, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm talking to
Yeah.
them. I'm like, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, do you really not get that?
Right.
Like whenever they say that, it's just like there's a part of them that like are
Mhm.
like I feel like are like itching to say it.
That's
Yeah.
when.
Like
Oh
they
yeah,
wanna
no.
say it.
I mean,
Well,
They
it says
want to
you-
be able
yeah.
to say it, or they just literally don't understand context or history.
Right.
ask them to say
Like,
it. I
right.
mean,
Yeah.
because they won't, or if
Right.
they do,
Right.
like just
Right.
have them
and,
do it.
and that's the same thing where a guy will be like, "Oh, women want equality until we hit them," or something
Right.
like that. It's like,
It's just like-
we don't hit anybody.
Right. And do you know how many times they'll be like there was one time I was like, there was this dude I didn't like. We were like out with friends. And he was just like, yep. And he said that exact thing. He was like, yep, women want equality, but why can't I punch him in the face? I was just like, punch me in the face. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like,
Right.
let's see what happens.
right. And did he?
No,
Of
he
course
didn't.
not.
No, he didn't
Yeah.
punch me in the face.
Right.
Because people don't
You know
like
why.
confrontation.
Right. Mhm.
Like that's something like,
I'll
and you
talk.
know, you've seen,
Yeah.
like I'm not afraid
No, I love it.
to get real,
I
to
love
get
it.
real with people.
That's what, I'm not afraid either. That's why
Yeah.
I told you to start texting and driving.
Right.
I'm not worried about your safety. I'm worried about my podcast.
Right. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it.
Hey, Bill, I can't make it to your podcast because I crashed while I was texting and driving.
That's
Thanks
fine.
for letting me know. We'll get started then.
Thanks for texting.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Oh my God. Like, I mean, there's like this thing where, like don't get me wrong, like I understand contact. Like there's a difference between being like mean for funny's sake
Right.
and just being a fucking asshole.
Right.
Yes.
Like,
And there's some people that they're mean because they are so terrified of rejection that they use being mean or being
wanna do it first.
awful. So they go, oh, well, they can't reject me if they
I'm
they don't
never,
like me off
never
the
accepted
yeah,
me.
yeah, if they never
Yeah.
liked me off the bat. And then when, like, we all have those friends, not those friends, but we all know those people that they go, oh, you just got to get to know him. Once you get to know him, he's actually pretty cool, or they're, they're actually pretty fun, but, they come off as a hard
Right.
ass or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get to know him.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
they
Not
can
worth it.
just be nice.
Yeah.
There's no problem with that. I don't need their baggage coming into my life because they can't accept the fact that sometimes people aren't going to like them.
But there also has to be a thing, like with me, like I'm not afraid of confrontation. I'm also not afraid to admit when I'm wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just provided 2 anecdotes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like as to where like I'm neither afraid of confrontation or when somebody confronts me and they have proof.
Right.
And they're just like, hey, this is what you're doing. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
Mhm.
A lot of people, when you confront them, they'll get like shamed.
Yeah.
Or they'll try to fight back.
Mhm.
And then that's when it's just like, okay. All right.
Well, it's very hard for people to accept that. And I've gone through that. We talked about mental health last week with
That
my daughter and stuff like that. And she's very much that way where when I have to confront her about things a very specific way, because if I come too direct at her, she gets defensive and she goes, well, this and this and this and this. And like, it's not fair, blah, blah. So-and-so does this. And I go, we're not talking about that. We're
right.
talking about you. And we're
It's
trying
the
to
what
figure.
about thing.
Yeah. The
Mhm.
what about. Yes.
It's the what about.
Whataboutisms are
Yeah,
really
it's so
gross.
weird. It's just like, yeah, but there's nuance and differences in that situation that
Right.
aren't present
Right.
here.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, how come they can do it and I can't do it?
Yeah.
How come they can do it? I can't do it. Why can't I do it?
I don't need to do it.
I don't need to explain
Yeah.
it to you. If you don't understand why it's different, you're fucking hopeless.
Mhm.
You're a fucking idiot. In a way, once again, I don't know the context as to how he said it, but once again, context doesn't really matter. Don't say the
Don't say
N-word.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't say the N-word into
Yeah.
a microphone.
Right. Don't say it.
That's
Just don't say
rule
it. Just don't say it.
101.
Yeah.
That's rule 101. Raj and I.
Yeah.
Raj and I. We're Raj, Suraj, comedian that was here. Him and I have this inside joke
Mhm.
where we ask each other, I wonder what Jove is up to. We were doing stand up years ago, and there was this comedian. His name was Jove. I don't remember what his name, what his last name was.
Jove. How do I not know Jove?
No, dude, he did it like once or
Okay.
twice, and it was at LVT. And
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, Lakewood Village Tavern is where all of us kind of go to like try out new things.
Yeah,
and
it's
newer
the
comic-
sign up, show up, go up, open mic, and it can be great and it can be terrible.
Yeah, it's where more experienced comics go to try out new stuff, and newer comics go to learn.
right.
So there's this new comic up there, and he's just talking about like pedophilia and like fucking children, and we're like, oh my god. And once again, it's not witty, and there's no jokes involved. Like
Right.
I'm like there's nothing you can't really joke about,
Right.
but like, you know, there are some rules,
Mhm.
you know, in place. Like, I'm not saying that like, you know, anybody can't say anything ever, but it's just how you say it and what you're saying when you say
Well,
it.
and that's one of the things that I have such a big problem with when all these comics are like, cancel culture. You can't do anything. You can't say anything. I'm like, no, you can say whatever you want, but you have to make it funny. You have to make it
Yeah.
a joke. You have to be a bit clever.
Yeah.
Like you can, like, what's wrong with being a bit clever? I love being clever. I talk about everything I want to talk about on stage because I feel like I'm clever enough to say the things I want to say without having to just be that douchebag that just goes for like the low hanging fruit.
And even if you go for the low hanging fruit, if you hit it right, it's
Yeah.
just like one of those things. If you aim for the king, you better not miss.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are just certain things that like I decide I'm not joking about.
Mhm.
You hear that, King Charles?
Yeah.
I'm coming for you.
It's just like if you decide you're gonna go after one of those things, whether or not you're doing stand up or you're writing a lit humor piece or
Mhm.
you're doing
A
like these-
movie or
a movie,
Yeah.
like if you like take that swing, it better be really funny.
Well, I think the perfect example of it is Blazing Saddles, a movie that
Yeah.
you could not make now.
Yeah.
But when he made it, it is a movie that shows you how stupid racist people are.
No, but I think you can make it.
And
now.
it's so funny. Hey, Liz Blanc is here.
Yeah, she's
in the
here.
chat.
Yeah.
Liz, we just talked about the text you just sent AJ about Rob O'Reilly.
Yeah, it was very exciting. But yeah, no, you like I still think you can.
You think you can make that movie?
Well, here's the thing: is it's either that movie's too smart for audiences today, or audiences today don't understand satire.
I
Oh,
Like-
they don't understand satire, I don't think.
Like,
right.
A lot don't.
I think a lot don't. I think a lot would be because if you can make that movie today, then Rob O'Reilly could say, I was doing satire.
but there's a difference, and an intelligent audience would understand the difference.
Right.
You know, like the intelligent audience knows what Robert Downey Jr. was doing in
Yes,
Tropic Thunder was
exactly.
not racist.
Right.
It was.
A lot of people think so, though.
That's a very tough thing to try to do in humor.
Mhm.
Is when you try to do something offensive to showcase the monsters that were doing the offensive thing.
Mhm.
Where you kind of turn the mirror on the monster and you become the monster to show, and you try to normalize the atrocity of the situation. That's really hard to pull off.
I agree.
You know, like
So where is that line? How do you know where that line is what, and that's why I don't go near that, because I don't know how to do that. I'm
Listen,
not good enough
when
at comedy
Louis-
to go that way.
Louis, like
That's when Louis started to lose me, when he had 2 specials in a row where he's like, I'm just gonna use the N-word.
right, but he had a point attached to it.
He
though.
did, but it didn't.
But-
It wasn't that important of a point.
No, it wasn't that important of a point, but I can both agree that when he said it on stage, that it wasn't really racist.
Right. Other
But-
than it just being
Outside of the fact that he was just trying to do a point that really didn't need to be
The-
made.
yeah, the- like they were-
Unnecessary.
but-
I didn't even.
Right, but it wasn't. Once again, it's context. It's nuance. Like if I say the N word right now, and I'm quoting someone that said something.
yeah.
Like,
Well, don't do it.
well, no, I'm not going to. But like,
We
if,
just we don't.
but if I'm
we
reading,
just said
like,
we're not good enough
if
to do
I'm
that.
reading a court transcript and I say it, like somebody says it in court, it's like
Yeah.
it's documented. I didn't say it; it's their words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to redact myself. This person said it.
Well, in the same way, like when younger people use it because they are so used to, they emulate black culture,
Yeah.
so they feel like I'm just acting the way they act.
Well, that's
They have-
different.
That's different, but it also
that's appropriation.
right. But they don't understand. They don't
Right.
understand
They don't. They're
there's
being.
an ignorance there, but
Right.
there's no ill intent.
We're just a bunch of white people talking about what
I
is
know.
and isn't racist right now. Like,
Well, somebody's got to talk about it.
no, but I mean, it's so easy
Well,
to not.
what we're talking. It's not that we're talking about what is and isn't racist. We're talking about why we shouldn't use that word,
Right.
and why we're okay with it.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I haven't said it in weeks. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, and it hasn't even really been that hard. Like, it's so easy to not say the N-word.
Right.
Like, you have to really try to honestly say it.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, give me a scenario where you've ever been put in a situation where you felt the need to say it.
Right.
Every time anyone says it, it's because they want to say it,
Right.
and then they do say it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to not say it.
It's so easy to not say it, and it's also the people that want to say it, they do have a motive of like.
Right.
I think they feel like they're
And-
smarter or better than they can get away with it or something.
And there's gonna be some,
or they believe that they are
right.
better.
And there's gonna be some, but there's a section of people that are even stupider. Like racism's stupid, and people who say it because they're racist, they're stupid. But
you hear that on the Bill Squire show? We think racism is stupid.
right. But like
Name of the episode.
there's an even dumber group of people that like think that they just don't they think that not being able to say it is like censorship. And
Right.
it's just like it's not.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't understand what censorship
Right.
really
It's
is.
it's not censorship. It's just like you don't like when you say the N-word, it's not about censorship or free speech. That's not the issue. It's about respect.
Mhm.
Well, they don't have a lot of respect for
Right.
people.
Right.
Well,
and,
that goes back to those people that are just mean to
and it's
offset people rejecting them. They don't have respect for people.
right.
That's a very common thing that you see a lot in the society where people just they think, when they talk about people making minimum wage and they're like, why should they get paid this and this? Well, so they can live a decent life. It's about respect.
Right. Once again, it's
What's
anybody,
wrong with that?
anybody who like it's like mind your own fucking business.
Mhm.
Mind your own fucking business.
Right.
Like-
and also, just to, we're really on one tonight. But you get into a place where people that they need help from the government or, any sort of socialism, and they go, "Brr, why are these fuckers talking about Brett Favre and what a piece of shit he is?
Right. It's like I work. Why I'm not on welfare? Why is that person on welfare and they're driving a fucking Escalade? It's just like, well, you're not on welfare.
Right.
Where's your fucking Escalade?
Oh.
Go get an Escalade. That person being on welfare has nothing to do with your capability to go get an Escalade. Just go get a fucking Escalade.
Hey, good news, AJ.
Yeah.
You know how earlier Tommy was called, someone said Tommy's so
Yeah.
sexy?
Yeah.
Well, you got a compliment saying
did I?
you're so handsome
Oh, did I?
from Dave Morales.
Nice.
Dave
And
Morales.
he's a even more handsome person than you.
Dave Morales is one of the most
Dave Morales
handsome.
is a handsome motherfucker.
He's so handsome, I want to scream the N-word from the top of a building. See, I'm joking about the N-word right
right,
now.
but you didn't say it. So it's fine.
Right, but like that's the thing. It's just like you really can joke about anything you want. It's just like where it's coming from. And I know, like I said, I mean, somebody might see this and be like, it's a bunch of white people talking about. They're a bunch of soy boys. But fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a
Color
soy boy.
Yeah, you're a soy.
I'm a soy man. For Christ's
I
sake.
feel like I'm a soy dude.
Soy dude.
I'm
like
a
it.
soy fella.
Yeah.
No,
They, them.
but it's it's fucking dumb. I don't know. Like just the
Yeah,
fact that
so
you don't
basically,
understand
and we can definitely agree on this. If you are a comedian working on a cruise ship, you do not need to use the
Right.
N-word ever.
Does it bother you? Does it, let me get off topic. We're talking
Yeah.
about things that comedians do that bother you. Does it bother you when a comedian that's like kind of inexperienced decides to sit down on stage?
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, does it kind of bother you a
Like,
little bit?
you're-
I'm like,
you're-
you haven't earned that.
Like, no, but also there's like 2 comics that have,
Yeah.
and one of them went to jail for rape.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, you can't.
Like
really.
Patrice is really the only one. Ali Sadiq, he's a newer one that I'm like, allow it. I see John Bruton do it a lot, but I feel like he's just emulating guys.
Yeah, well, no, it's fine. But John, I think, has
John-
like earned the right to do it. He's a
Yeah.
good storyteller,
Yeah.
and when you're a really good storyteller, you have that luxury
Right.
because I kind of like sit down. It's a device.
Mark Maron's very good at it. He
right.
can do it.
You can do it. You
Right.
you kind of get to a place where you can sit down, but it's
Right.
just like, no, this is stand up.
Yeah.
This is literally stand
Well, also,
up.
I mean, that you see that so much with newer comics where they are trying to emulate whoever inspired them to get
Yeah.
on stage, and so that's why you get those guys that are trying to write the edgiest jokes they can.
Not even
right
just
off
the
the
edgiest
bat.
jokes, but the ones that think that like their comedy is like so poignant.
Yeah.
And like
They're like,
like,
I'm
this is
gonna
gonna
crack
change.
this pedophile thing.
right, like it's just like my jokes are gonna solve the world's problems. Where it's just like you guys have always been kind to me and always given me opportunities. I just go there and tell my fucking
Just
jokes.
go and tell your jokes and be funny. And like
Yeah.
that's for so many comics. I'm like, there's a kind of an influx of comics now, newer comics, and I don't like to give a ton of advice.
Yeah.
If they ask me for advice, I'll give it to them. And usually what I just say is, be funny. That's
Yeah.
all you have to do right now. If you want to get stage time, if you want to get work, if you want to be all those things, the first step in that is having a set that is consistently
Right.
funny. And if you don't have 5 minutes, then you're not going to have 10 minutes.
I gave a piece of advice to a comic the other day. They said they're working on 10. I'm like, get a tight 5 first.
Yeah.
Why don't we just, go with the 5? Like write a good
Everybody's-
5 minutes before you get to
Like
10.
I just started over writing new material
Right.
after recording my special. I got 5. I got 5 minutes right now. That's all I got. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to get it up to 10 soon. But right now, I've got 5 minutes of material that I'm confident in. That is like new.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I have more, but like the new stuff, I got 5.
Yeah, and they don't like you got to tell the same jokes over and over
Right.
and over and over.
Well, that's
and
another thing
over
that,
again.
I mean, we're doing a lot of deep comedy talk tonight, but they go, like, all right, I got these jokes to work 4 times.
Yeah.
I'll pocket those and start working on new stuff. No.
How many
You got-
times?
you
How
got
many times
nothing.
have you heard some of my jokes? 1,000 times.
Yeah, a lot of times.
But it's weird, like the
Well,
like,
especially with the way you write and the way you have to, being a
one-liner
one-liner
guy.
guy, it takes even longer doing it that
But
way.
it's weird. I told a lot of the same jokes for a very long time, and a lot of the comics stopped to watch me do it.
Yeah.
Be-
Well, because it's fun to watch, because we know it's the same reason we all want to watch Marty.
Yeah.
We all want to see how people react.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch the crowd get pulled in by this.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know. I just love the one-liner. And it's
Tommy,
just
when
such
you
a
gonna tell
layup.
jokes?
Yeah.
Never. I'm not funny.
We-
I enjoy watching.
But now that we have this set up
Mhm.
and like I know how to work it better,
Mhm.
I would like to bring back Tom memes.
Ooh, okay. We could do
So
that.
we can do Tom memes next week.
I would like to.
Nice.
I would like to. What if I brought like a bucket, and just full of like note cards,
No.
and then we
I've
just
done
all.
this. We used to do this
Yeah.
on the Alan Cox show.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You reach into the bucket, you just read a joke.
Well,
Ooh.
it was punchlines, and then we try and work a joke. We
It,
try and work that punchline
Oh.
into like just a
Mm.
regular conversation.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it totally took it from Chappelle's idea,
Oh, that's fun.
but it was the punchline bucket.
But I would
but
love.
it's fun.
I would love to have Tommy reach in and just tell like the filthiest joke anybody.
I mean,
Is
we
it
can
a
do that, too.
pre-written
Yeah.
joke?
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
pre-written.
I
Yeah.
could do that.
We can do that. We can do that.
I could read
I write
a
like
joke.
30 jokes this week, and I
Okay.
throw them into the thing, and then we just do a thing where we just all pull
All
out
right.
a joke, like a note card.
Well,
Do
you
you wanna
write
be my
some and I'll write some
ghostwriter?
too.
Okay, how many do you
Yeah.
want to come with next week? I think this was on Norm Macdonald's show. I think they did
Oh yeah,
this bit.
yeah,
But-
but they were like really bad jokes.
Yeah.
I would like to write some actual funny jokes.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
yeah.
do
We
that.
can do. I mean, let's just write our 5 jokes each, like we were doing in the past, and then we'll just throw them in the bucket, and then
Bucket,
Tommy
yeah.
can read them.
Okay. Well, how about we do 15? So then that way we each get 5.
15.
All right, fine. All right,
We'll
15.
figure it out.
15 jokes. Holy shit, that's a lot of jokes.
No, I mean oh yeah, I guess like I don't know.
I got time this weekend because
Yeah.
I'm working the road, so I'll have
Okay.
time.
Oh, where are you gonna be
It's
this
okay if
weekend?
I just read one
Asheville.
joke, guys.
Yeah.
You can just give me the worst
We
joke.
have a bucket.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't just put one joke
Yeah.
in a bucket.
No,
No.
not all of them. You get a whole bucket and then
No,
one
we have a
at
thing.
a time.
Yeah, we have a thing.
Mhm.
Tommy reads a joke, and then I read a joke,
Mhm.
and then Bill reads a joke, and then we do that like for like a segment.
Okay.
Like
We'll figure it out.
yeah, that'd be fun. I can even write the joke. You don't have to write any
I
of them.
like writing jokes though. So
Oh,
they just,
okay.
once I get going, I usually can rip a few off
Mm.
pretty easily. So
Cool.
we'll write some jokes.
Excellent.
All right. I think that's all.
That's
I
it?
think- Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we did.
We
We did an hour.
did an hour plus. So
Nice.
that's it for this week. If you are listening to this in North Carolina, I'm going to be in Asheville this Friday and Saturday. You can get tickets on my website, billsquire.com. And also on Thursday, I'm doing a show with Jim Twos at Go Bananas. And you know what? How dumb I am. Guess who's playing Thursday night football in Cincinnati? The Bengals. So
Yeah.
that show is going to be poorly attended. At AJ DeCosmo on Instagram and Twitter, at Tommy LC on Twitter, Instagram, and OnlyFans and Fansly. She's got links
Guys.
for all that stuff.
Tumblr is bringing back nudies. I heard.
Whoa.
That's exciting. And
That's all. That's all I needed to share.
we'll see you guys next week.
Hello, love.
Hello, love. Bye.
This is the Bill Squire Show.